My final strategy for helping you build your brand is to collaborate with people. It's very difficult to go it alone in the business world, particularly if you're not operating from a position of strength with a big marketing budget. But you do have a position of strength if you recognize that you've got a great story to tell about you and the business, and you've started to get better at telling it. And when that happens, there are certain people out there who will like what you're doing. One of the videos you should probably check out is a guy called Simon Sinek, S-I-N-E-K, who has a concept called Start With Why. Look him up on TED Talks, that's TED.com, just type him into the search engine. And one of the great things that he's discovered over the years is that the important thing is to find people who see the world the way that you do. In other words, who believe what you believe in. But you've got to say what it is that you stand for in the first place in order for people to decide whether they're aligned with that worldview, the same view as yours. But if you just put bland, factual, transactional language out there, it's very difficult for people to see beyond that. It's a very shallow, surface level form of communication. There's something deeper going on under there, why you set the business up, the mission that you're on, the purpose behind the business that you need to communicate. And then certain people out there will find that resonates with them and they'll want to support you. And our own experience really bears this out. Our accountants are a firm called Cassens, and they've been extremely supportive of all of our efforts to grow our business in the last few years. And they have put us in touch with all manner of people and given us platforms to speak, both in the UK and overseas, which have led to really substantial pieces of business. And equally, the Academy for Chief Executives, a wonderful body, bringing together people, CEOs together in supportive, peer-led environments, have equally given us platforms to speak at some of their events. And initially, those platforms are often free. But work can and does come from those platforms, provided what you have to say is worth listening to. So two particular alliances that have been tremendously helpful for us, and is representative, I guess, of this idea of building your tribe, building people who support you and see the things the way that you see them. It's also useful, I think, to have some contra deals in place. Very often you'll find that people have a need that you can help them with, but equally they can offer you something back in return, so do a deal of some kind. And start to think strategically. Who could I align myself with who can help me fulfill my particular business objectives? And it could be that it's some kind of professional body, it could be that it's an online community, it could be that it's a particular individual who's very well connected. Think very carefully about the people you know now who can put you in touch with the people you need to build friendships with in order to grow your business. So I think drawing everything together now in summary, three key messages here. First of all, have a really good, authentic story. Authentic in the sense that it's got lots of you in it. Why you set the business up, who you are, the mission that you're on, what kind of help you need. Don't be afraid to ask for help in getting to where you're trying to get to, because people out there will want to support you if they see something in what you're doing that they admire or they agree with. Learn to tell that story well. So speaking face to face, conversationally or on a stage or even online, these are all forms or platforms through which to tell that story, and again find people who will want to support you and help you grow. And that's what I mean by putting the story to work. If you have a great story, you're good at telling it, but not enough people are hearing it, or if not the right people are hearing it, or if those people aren't being encouraged by you to spread it a little bit and to help put you in touch with the right people, you're not leveraging the value of the story that you're telling in the first place. So I mentioned before that every presentation should have a call to action, so here's mine. I think that what you have been doing in watching this particular video clip, this webinar recording, is the equivalent of not quite going to the Great Barrier Reef, but watching it on telly. It looks wonderful, it looks beautiful, but you're at a distance. It's still a kind of a concept that's out there. You haven't touched it, you haven't felt it or experienced it. The next stage you could go to is to attend a half-day workshop we're running this Friday, the 1st of November 2013, in South Manchester. So if you want to start building the brand in the way that I've described, and this is a deeper introduction essentially to what we've been doing online now, I think that's the equivalent of snorkeling. You're not quite amongst all of the creatures, but you're seeing it again slightly from a distance, but at least you're able to get close to the action. But of course, ultimately, what I'd love you to do is to get in the water, is to be in the water, down in the coral, amongst those wonderful sea creatures. And ladies and gentlemen, that means brand building program. We have a brand building program which is a mixture of online activity and face-to-face support with me on a journey with you to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. It's using all of the strategies and the ideas and the tips and the techniques that we've been talking about in the last hour or so, and putting them to work in your particular business. So I will send you details of both the workshop and the Brand Builder program in a follow-up email, but I wanted to thank you first of all for engaging with this particular recording. I hope you found it useful, and I really look forward to working with you on building your brand on a budget.